Finally, on design, you do not only need the architectural drawings that just lays out the spaces and the furnitures and the equipment that you need in your hospitality business. If it's a renovation, if you took up an existing building, you're going to need structural drawings that reflect the changes and the alterations that the architectural plan is making on the existing building. If it's a fresh build, you definitely need structural drawing to complement the architectural drawing that you have. You also would need a mechanical drawing, a plumbing drawing, the electrical drawings. You also need a design that shows how you intend to position your CCTV. One thing that is very important in any of the hospitality business is CCTV installations. Now, one thing we've discovered is that many people do not know how to even position CCTV cameras. Do you know that staffs in many organizations that we worked with knows how to sabotage the effectiveness of their CCTV installation simply because they were not positioned by experts? If you must have CCTV, you need experts to help you determine where a camera should be positioned within a space. Sometimes, for a camera to be effective, it is better you put more than one. Having one camera in some spaces in your hospitality business is as good as not having at all. You definitely need more than one in some spaces. These are things that must be designed and considered by people who are experienced because they go a long way to affect your operations and help the profitability of your business. After you've done all your designs, the next question will be, how do you award a contract? There are a couple of options in what we call contract procurement. It's either you are trying to use a direct labor means. Many clients want to use direct labor means because they believe that contractors are extra costs to make them spend more than they're supposed to spend. Even if your desire to be able to directly supervise your job yourself, first you have to be sure that you have some level of experience in construction or even in the restaurant's business setup in the first place. Peradventure you do not have, I would advise you to involve a project manager who has requisite knowledge in restaurant setup and construction as well. This will be important in monitoring and guiding your workers who you are going to be paying on a daily basis while you're also procuring materials for them to work. If you're not trying to use the direct labor procurement method, another mistake many clients make is that they just take the designs, ask somebody to quote. Maybe the person that even did the designs will just send them a quote. The person sends them the quote, you just look at it, oh, 100 million. I don't have this kind of money, it's too much. Just go and use one quack to execute the project. And at the end of the day, if they are lucky, this might even start, there's going to be a lot of maintenance issues as time goes on, or probably even immediately. We've had to rectify many issues that came up because of poor construction, due to the lack of knowledge of not knowing what to position in what space within restaurant space or a lounge or a hotel. For example, it's important that you consider using a contractor. And when you're considering using a contractor, you're going to quantity surveyor to do a bill for you. This is the ideal way to get a fair price. Get a quantity surveyor to do a bill for you based on the designs that you have. Then send a blank bill, a bill that doesn't have prices. A QS would have done his own bill and told you that this project is going to cost you X amount. Then he blanks out the bill and sends what they call bids or bidding documents. He sends them to contractors, 2 or 3 that you've selected they're going to use. So these guys, they will inspect your site when they receive your invitation to bid, to tender. They will inspect your site, then they quote according to the designs and what they find on site. Then you now have a uniform basis to judge who is quoting the cheapest based on the specifications you have designed or you have determined in your bill of quantities. But many a time, many clients don't want to pay quantity surveyor. They ask the contractor to produce a bill of quantity for them, and they just look at it and say, oh, this is too much. I always tell people that whenever you want to do any construction, no matter how much of a novice you are, you still have an expectation. You believe that, pata, like they say in Nigerian parlance, this work no go past 200 million. Then the contractor comes with 400 million. You tuned off. You're like, this is not possible. This guy wants to rip me off. It shouldn't be this much. The only way for you to know that it won't be that much is if there is a bill prepared by an independent consultant or professional, like a quantity surveyor, who has spelled out the specifications and has given it to different contractors or vendors to quote. So you are comparing apple for apple. The practice of just asking one vendor to send you a quote and you're like, this is expensive, is not correct. Another mistake clients make is to receive a bill from a contractor and they send the same drawing to another contractor to also quote. That's also wrong, because whenever 2 contractors receive the same design, especially when the drawings are not detailed enough, there's a likelihood that contractors will size you up and say, does this person have this money to do top finishing or top-notch finishing of this project? If he thinks you have, then he's going to quote premium quality. The other one that looks at it and says, okay, even if he has, well, he won't be willing to spend this much. He's going to quote inferior quality or not so good quality. It may not be inferior quality, but maybe not so good, because there are different qualities of finishing of a project in the market. In summary, what I'm saying is that it's either you are getting the quantity surveyor to prepare a bill which serves as a uniform basis for comparing of obtaining contractor tender or quote or cost of doing that project for you. Another thing that I also tell clients to do is that The bill you receive from contractor A and you think is high, blank it out yourself. Send it to contractor B. Let the contractor B also quote based on the materials and specifications that contractor A has spelled out in his bid. Once you receive the tenders from the contractors, if you follow the guidelines that we gave in our previous video, and then the cost all of them are given to you is higher than what you budgeted for, one thing will be clear is that your scope and quality that you demand, that you're trying to work with, is beyond your budget. It's not like anybody's trying to rip you off. All you need to do is to go back and then scale down on the design or specifications. And there are so many ways to go about this. You can start scaling down the quality of finish you want to use in the back of house, then later to the front of house. Like that, you can scale down the size of the space that you want to lay out. There are ways you could divide your lounge space into half, and then block it off in a way that you're able to expand into that space when business kicks off. All in a bit to ensure that the quality of your work comes out to meet the expectation of the target audience or the location that you have decided to set up a restaurant in. Many a times, the solution is not just to look at another contractor who will do inferior jobs for you and then make nonsense of your investment. Another thing that you also need to work towards is equipment procurement. You can procure equipment locally, you can procure equipment from China or even from Europe. I can tell you for free that the cheapest way or the fastest way to probably procure equipment will be directly from China, followed by procuring from local vendors in Alaba. Any kind of restaurant equipment you need, you're probably going to get it from Alaba International Market. From the locally fabricated bain marines to imported ones from China, and even some vendors there, although most of them actually stock equipment from China, but some vendors there also have links to procuring equipment from Europe. Furthermore, on equipment procurement, you must ensure that the equipment you're procuring aligns with what you have laid out in your design. You see why an expert has to work with you from the beginning. This expert would have knowledge of what it takes to cook rice, what it takes to cook soups, the kind of equipment you need to pound yam, and the rest of them. They are going to then help you lay them out in your designs and position them where they are supposed to be positioned. And then once you get to the stage where you need to procure this equipment, you're able to procure and just fit them in place. This expert is also going to work with you in ensuring that the proper electrical point or power source required for this equipment are provided. There has been situations where you do a project and then you lay out sockets in different locations, or maybe in the kitchen, for example. 3 months, 6 months later, your client calls you and say, this fire point got burnt. Oh, our DB had issues. Then you go back there, you discover that they started just importing equipment and plugging it wherever they think it will work. It doesn't work like that. Everything is designed to plan. I've already told you that you don't get smooth operations, you design it. You have to be intentional about everything, and everything has to be reviewed before you add equipment to those space. Even if your kitchen is flexible, there's still a need for experts to guide you through kitchen expansion. See you in the next video.